Another edition of the ComicCorp Podcast. I am your host, as always, Chad Porto, and joining me is the glorious one himself, Marcus Green. Marcus, how are you?
Going okay.
It's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a show. Joining us, as is his contractual obligation through the court of Iowa, we are his community service. Zachary Tyler Pew Pew. I swear to God, I didn't spray paint that dog, Duncan.
Why would anyone spray paint a dog?
You tell us. You're the one who did it, you heathen.
Just sounds terrible.
Yeah, which is why you got community service. I didn't think that you deserved to get this show. I thought that was a little harsh.
I mean, I thought it was pretty harsh too. Son of a bitch.
Right? Like, damn, you must have really said some fucked up shit to the judge. Is your name Hartley Sawyer, by any chance?
Oh, hardly.
Too soon? Too soon? It's gonna be a show.
Oh man.
So, let's talk about Why the Last Man before we get. Actually, Marcus, do you want to talk about the Hartley Sawyer stuff first? Because I feel like that's kind of burning a hole in the energy at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus is concerned now. So, Hartley Sawyer got fired from The Flash. Apparently, Sky Jackson, who was Suri on Jesse. That all sounds terrible when you put it into one sentence. I'm sorry.
It does.
She played, Suri played, fuck that up. Sky Jackson played Suri on the formerly hit Disney show, Jesse. And also, I think she did a spinoff, I guess. Apparently, not doing work for Disney has made her, what's that old saying? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. No, idle hands are the devil's thoughts, or something like that, right? What's that idle hand one, Zach? Idle's hands are the devil's work, I think, is what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
it's something real close.
Apparently, Sky Jackson has been very idle these days because she went a snooping.
Devil finds work for idle hands.
Yeah, there it is. So she went a snooping through Hartley Sawyer. I don't know, why Hartley Sawyer's? I don't know.
Yeah, what precipitated this?
Well,
Eeny, meeny, victim.
I mean, and now listen, I'm not against calling people out for their shitty behavior. I call myself out on a daily basis. Me? Yes, me. You're a dick. I know. But this seemed like, well, I looked up TMZ to see if Sky Jackson was in the hospital because she blew her back out stretching for this one. Because while these comments are not great, they are far from the quote-unquote racist comments that were being labeled with them. If there's more, please tell me. But these are more James Gunn tweets than they are, Michael Richardson, Kramer. Oh, boy. Had to go there, didn't we? So here's some of the tweets. The saddest part about someone committing suicide is that they will never listen to David Bowie again. I'm sorry, that's not offensive. Just dumb. Then he goes on to say, date raped myself so I didn't have to masturbate. And that sounds like something a frat boy would say.
Yeah.
Super Bowl! America! 80% of the prison population is African American. I believe that was him trying to raise awareness to the... But, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that was very much sarcastic and that was a sarcastic positive, as in it's not.
Right? Like, it was supposed to be one of those things like, hey, while you guys are watching the Super Bowl, there's a problem?
Yeah.
That's how I took it, Marcus. I don't know. You are of a different persuasion than this Caucasian. Do you have an opinion on that one? I was really trying to make that work. I'm glad I did.
Oh, no, that was good.
Thank you.
I mean, look, I feel like what this comes. I mean, we've had this conversation in a lot of different ways several times. Now probably more than we care to have it, but to me, there's a difference between like stupid, juvenile, distasteful, uncouth tweets and just outright racist tweets.
Well,
And
specifically the one about the Super Bowl and the African American population of prison. Do you find that one particularly offensive?
no,
All right.
I don't. And obviously, everybody different. And it's funny because a lot of stuff on Twitter is like text. There's no context.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, that's not needed right now. Nobody cares about context at the time. So.
These are also, some of these are also 8 years out of context.
11 years on this one right here, I'm saying. Hartley Sawyer's 35. So he would have been 23 when he made this joke. He said to Stephen Hanks, just kidding, I don't care, and a derogatory term for gay people are fine, but sports often make me snore. Now, I hate to break this to you. That word was acceptable in 2009. You may not have liked that it was, but South Park did an entire story on why that word shouldn't be used to, be derogative towards gay people, but to just jerks in general.
Yes, that was the motorcycle gang, wasn't it?
Yes. So there was a push to reclaim the word. I don't think that's like saying, well, 11 years ago it was legal to steal a chocolate eclair from the bakery, but now it's not. Now you can't steal that chocolate eclair, but I'm gonna hold you responsible for doing it anyway. That's not how things are supposed to work. Sorry there, chum. Let's see what else we got. Out at dinner and just exposed myself as a racist again. Calling yourself a racist doesn't actually make you a racist, and calling someone else a racist doesn't make them a racist. Sorry. You actually have to hate someone who looks different than you to be a racist.
Yes, and someone who is a racist would not call themselves a racist.
No, they would say, I'm not a racist, but. We all know that's what they would say. I think I could work in a tit factory and be happy. Who couldn't? Even straight women like tits.
Who doesn't like tits?
Right? That's like saying I don't like puppies. What are you, a fucking fascist? Get the hell out of here. You cat lover? Marcus, you're not a cat lover, are you?
I like pussy, but not cat.
Uh-oh, it just got canceled. Hartley said he enjoyed a secret boob viewing at an audition today. Not the greatest tweet, but that could be anything. Maybe he is some chick bent over and her tit fell out. It happens. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't think he was talking about some type of fucking couch thing. What are those called? Casting couches? I don't think that's what he meant. Mm-hmm. He says, as a lad, one of my favorite activities was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts. That one's pretty fucked up. But it was totally done in jest because I don't think anyone's looking to see Hartley Sawyer on any FBI crime lists for mutilation. Again, not great, but, come on. The only thing stopping me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me. Again, not funny. Not offensive. If I had a wife, I would beat the hell out of her tonight. LOL. Okay, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So, of the 9 we saw, I'll say 2 are fuck up. And I don't think that's a good ratio to get someone fired and for their career to be over. Especially considering, wasn't there a dude on, Chicago ER who was trying to justify using the N-word recently? I'm just saying, the bar's pretty fucking low.
it's it just comes off as picks and chooses with yourself. I mean, um, I think with him, it's a thing of the times. Like I said, it's the hypersensitive times, and companies with everything that's going on right now. Companies, I guess, are saying that they are being held to the fire even more so to not just give lip service and saying what they're gonna do, but actually showing what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I think he falls into that along with the hypersensitive thing, and I thought this guy Jackson girl was just some random chick on Twitter. I didn't know she was an actual celebrity.
Yeah.
You just said it, but apparently she was just on one. Now I can't, me not being offended by it has nothing to do with how she took it.
True.
Or anyone else. But yeah, like I said, to me there is and we don't know this guy from a can of paint. He might be racist for all we know. We don't. But like I say, I've seen a lot of racist stuff just outright on Twitter these last few weeks, and then this stuff just comes out. Like I said, is extremely juvenile, crass, uncouth, whatever you want to call it. But the whole fire thing, like I said, I just think he's caught between a rock and a hard place with the sign of the times, and these companies really having to put their foot down, whether it's something they actually want to do or not, or certain people in the company want to do or not, because they very much need to stay in the right side of the current history, and that's kind of what they got to do.
And you're right. There's been some crazy shit that I didn't think people would ever be ballsy enough to say online. Before we go on to the to the next portion of this, you guys know who Chrisley is, right? Chrisley Knows Best, that terrible fucking show that comes on after Raw.
Yes.
Every time I see a promo for it, I want to bleach my eyes out. At least his daughter's hot. But all right, so fun fact, he has a granddaughter who's mixed race because his son was in a relationship with a black woman. So that's why you'll always see someone running around who doesn't look anything like them. Because that's his granddaughter. I thought it was an adopted daughter at first. I was like, oh, whatever, that's cool. Every kid needs a love. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I found out that this is actually his granddaughter, and I'm like, oh, that's even more adorable. Because they took custody of her in 2016. Now, granted, whenever a grandparent takes custody of a child, usually nothing great about it. I don't want to go into that bag of cats, if you will. But it was one of those things where, he took up and took in his kin, because that's what you do as family. Well, apparently he posted something on Instagram today or yesterday about how he had to have a conversation with his granddaughter about race. And some fucking Karen, man, and apologies to all Karens out there. As a Chad, I know that burden you carry. But to the Karens out there, one of them, Marcus, tweeted, not tweeted, but it commented on her Instagram that colors shouldn't mix. And I'm like, holy fuck. That's some deep South racist right there.
Stuff is coming out, man. People are 100% out of their bag right now.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking, what's that girl's name who played little Baby West? Oh, she's older than her parents. What's her name?
Oh,
Jessica Parker Kennedy.
Yeah, Jessica Parker Kennedy. I want to do some mixing with her. Sup, girl? You listening? Call me. I got your restraining orders. Why haven't you returned my call?
But the irony is, looking at her, and it's ironic because of the daughter she was supposed to be playing, she probably is of mixed race.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mixed race people out there that they don't deserve to be erased by your hatred. Yeah, kook. Mm-hmm. So this one is even crazier. So I had to stop reviewing The Flash on Tumblr because I was getting death threats. Legit, 100% true story. To say that Irish stands are crazy?
they're so fucking. They are crazy.
Oh.
But by the by, Marcus, I wanted to bring this up before we moved on. You're right about the idea of choosing who to come for.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ice Cube went full anti-Semite?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most I've seen him tweet. I feel like ever. I mean, he tweets, but this is, I mean, he's going all. I didn't. The symbol thing kind of threw me off. Like I mean, everything else he's been tweeting has kind of really been on brand. with the NWA and whatnot, but the anti-Semitic, I mean, he kind of just, yeah, he threw some bait out there for a lot of these Tucker Carlsons to come out and be like, it just threw me off. I didn't get it.
Well, it's just like I don't see anyone rushing to fire Ice Cube. Man, we are in a crazy fucking world. Hartley Sawyer can't make dumb jokes, but Ice Cube can be anti-Semitic. At least Ice-T's still on brand. He's just saying fuck everyone. I appreciate that.
And who knows? I mean, maybe being a part of the community, maybe I'm behind. Maybe that's something that I should know about. I just didn't look into it, but yeah, again, we talk about this all the time. There is no gray area now. There is no your ass is either 100%, on task when it comes to just calling everything down, or you're outright coming out racist. Which I mean, I guess that's the good thing, because I was thinking about like I might not necessarily need any new friends, but I damn sure want to know who my enemies are.
Yeah.
So seeing all races come out, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like no, don't hide behind the rocks or whatever anymore. Just come on out. I'm not getting flustered or like one of these like oblivious black guys like, oh my God, where is all this racism coming from? Like I'm not in that camp, but it is surprising just seeing some people's views. Like they're like, I'm not 100% racist, but I like to dip my toes in this racist pool every now and then.
I like the whole we need to admit we're all racist, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm good over here. I don't know what sins y'all need to rep for, but like, I'm good. By the by, okay. Speaking of racism, I got to see some of my own today. So, if you haven't heard by now, NASCAR did the most unthinkable thing in the history of forever and banned the Confederate flag. Hey, I've always been of the mindset of they were an insurgent nation. We never should have hung those sons of bitches up in the first place. Now, it's not even about the war or anything like that. They were literally an insurgent nation. That'd be like, let's hang up Canada's flag. No, it's fine. No, it's not fine, motherfuckers. We're going to put a French flag here in the state capital. You want to fucking bet? So that's kind of always been where my irkness has been on that one. So when I saw it getting rid of them, I'm like, yeah. And then there's a NASCAR driver like, well, I'm not going to race if it's being taken down. His name's like Scaliotti or Scoliotti or fucking something hardcore Dago. I'm Dago, I can say that. First thing I see is, well, what did you expect from Italians? And I'm like, oh, okay. We went right into the racism. Full bore. Wow. The only thing you were missing was calling him a guinea. But then they were going like, Italian. I'm like, oh. And then someone dropped an, what the fuck did he say? Oh, God. I forgot what he said. I was just reading. I'm like, oh. I wasn't even mad. I was like more perplexed. Like, so this is where the energy's going? You guys aren't going to, you guys are just going to direct all your hate to Italians now?
I mean, it's going at everybody, man, because they feel like the very concept of who they are is being, 100% flipped off, and kind of like the concept with the cops. It's like, you guys are coming for who we are. I'm like, yeah, because you suck. You suck, and you need to do better.
Yeah.
And and with this whole thing, it's funny because I saw a comedian 100% just sarcastically trash this whole NASCAR bit, but it's like, yeah, I mean. And we talked about this too with the Confederate statues. Like, it's great that this stuff is coming down, but it's like it's coming down because it's cool to do it right now.
Right.
It's like, how long has this stuff been up?
Yeah.
It's like this is half our problem. Now all these people, Kaepernick was a son of a bitch to everybody. However many years ago when he first did it. Now everybody wants to kneel. People want to put on, all these white politicians want to put on kente cloth and kneel.
Oh God, I saw that.
Is this Wakanda? What the hell is? What is this? Like it's like this is getting out of hand. Like this is weird. Like this is the problem now. This is why we're so damn far behind the COVID. We want to do the right thing when it's convenient instead of just doing it because it's the right damn thing.
Just for a point of emphasis, I'm totally going to join the gorilla tribe. Me and M'Baku are going to be tight, especially if he can hook me up with a gorilla sidekick. Oh,
right.
One who knows sign language, like in Congo. Oh my god, I think Congo is the start of my love of gorillas, which is terrifying because that movie was horrifying with gorillas.
Except the murderous albinos.
Right? Like I was just about to say, them motherfuckers got me. Like, what the fuck? But what was her name? Susan? The sign language one? Oh, I wanted one so bad. She could sign language, and she said, "I loved you" to the guy who was in Nip Tuck. Ah. By the by, I'm probably going to watch that movie tonight now, because I just got myself so hyped. Plus, there's that whole "Stop eating Mrs. McCake." Fucking love that scene. But, Zach, I watched Three Amigos last night. Yeah. First half is terrible. It's bad. Second half was great. I don't know. Maybe Steve Martin started having someone else write the jokes for him. Anyway, so yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh, by the by, the slur he was using was "eye tie." We have so many slurs people don't know about, and I'm teaching them all to a national audience.
I know, that's hilarious. Speaking of, did Chris Lee? Because I mean, he's the king of the talking trash and I guess the proverbial comeback. Did he ever like respond to that chick about the race blending thing?
Yeah, he went full Bible saying, "I hope you are alive long enough to read your Bible all the way through to stop hating." I'm like, oh, damn. He just pulled a boomer joke, a biblical boomer joke. Man, I'll tell you what. I think Chrissy's still a son bitch. That dude is obnoxious, but I like him now. Boomer Bible jokes. Yeah. That's the energy I like to keep in my life. You go full obscure on someone, and they'll never see it coming. God, I love it. Speaking of things that you shouldn't love, the Flash fan base is trying to eat itself.
Uh-huh.
Yep, it's bad. So Hartley Sawyer got fired, and Grant Gustin's like, "I support all of my colleagues, except if they make jokes from 12 years ago that you're not allowed to support." No, I get it, Grant. I get it. Got a streak of piss running down your leg, but I get it, Grant. But when the fans come for Stokely, he'll thank the fans for outing him. But what's he going to do when the fans come for Danielle Pennebaker? Is he going to thank them when they get her fired too? And keep in mind, all this Danielle Pennebaker stuff, it's not a real thing.
It's
at
not.
all. Like you can go through the whole thing. And you can find out for yourself just how irrelevant this whole thing is. Like, this isn't a real thing. I have a theory that Danielle Pennebaker and Grant Gustin were fucking in the first season, in real life. Just a theory. I think it's a theory that holds water. Just saying. They made the googly eyes at each other once in a while. They like each other. Just throwing that one out there. Possibly. So apparently the ship for Caitlin Snow and Barry was going to be called Snowberry. Apparently, if you were a Snowberry shipper, you were a racist because they casted a black woman to play Iris West, Candace Patton. Candace Patton is all sorts of gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't originally on board with the casting, but I fell in love with her, and now I'm all for it. But her fan base is still the worst. No, to be fair, the writers are still the worst. Candace Patton has been getting screwed on that show royally.
Yeah, and to be fair, him not being a fan of the casting is because he doesn't like black people. It's a whole thing with what's been happening with comic book characters. But go back in one of our shows to hear that.
Well, yeah, and to be fair, it's not even just Candace Patton. I got mad that they casted Henry Cavill because he's a Brit. That was like early 2013.
That too is a real thing though with the Brits. That
they are taking all of our jobs, Marcus, and I am offended.
The ones that as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing.
I also wasn't a big fan of the Momoa casting. Now I'm in love with it. I'm like, yes, more Momoa, please. Oh, he's so good as Aquaman.
He's so good.
He's so good. I am so glad they casted him. I'm so glad I got past my comic nerddom. And I just, most of the castings I love. Like they're so good. I can't really think. I would say, what was her name? Renee Sierra, the woman who played Hawkgirl. I think was like maybe the only one who didn't land for me.
Yeah.
And she didn't land for the show herself because she was gone after a year. Like I love. She played the second God damn it, I hate time travel. She played the original Vixen, but the second one on Legends.
Right.
I forget her name. Jaiwei? Was that her name, Marcus? Jaiwei?
Yeah, Maya G.
Jiwei?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved her. She was great. Sorry, what? My brain went someplace.
Exactly. Right. Back to the Panabaker of it all, I guess.
Oh, yeah, back to the Panabaker. So there was, talks of fans liking the idea of the Snowberry. And I'm just going to be honest. Snowberry sounds like a hell of an ice cream, and now I'm hungry. Right? Like I'm thinking it's like a Fruit Loops kind of vanilla swirl thing going on.
Yeah, I can see it.
That sounds good. Marcus, you down for some Snowberry? Zach, some Snowberry? You want to get some Snowberry?
Snowberry, Smoke's Fair, whatever they want to call it, man.
So, Panabaker was asked about a bunch of stuff involving, like, hey, are we going to see the Snowberry? And she's like, I don't know, maybe not. And, like, someone's like, hey, are we going to see Snowberry in this episode? And she's like, more than ever before. And I'm just like, how is this taking away from Candace Patton?
Yes, all this is very tongue-in-cheek, and also she can't really say no because then it's like saying what's going to happen in the show.
Right, that's like saying, hey, Oliver, you got stabbed by Ra's al Ghul at the mid-season finale of season 3. Are you dead? I don't know, gotta watch. Uh-oh, Stephen Amell is embracing murdering people. Uh-oh. Like, that's how fucking stupid that sounds. The worst one, Marcus, was apparently who was it that kissed her that they're like saying that they're going with
Yeah, this was an ass pull for me. There was a metahuman that could shapeshift into anybody.
Hannibal Bates, right?
Bates. He shapeshifted into Grant. And then this was during the first season where, of course, because she can't have any good love results on the show, her fiance was dead, so she was single. And Grant was yet to link up with Iris. This was the season where Eddie was still alive. They're both single.
Miss Eddie.
He kind of, of course, she thinks this is Barry. And Bates, being a creep, pulled in for a kiss. And she was kind of into it after the initial shock. But this person used, I guess, the concept of her going off of that as accepting, which is now like non-consensual assault because of the kiss, which is that's how that's framed now, not when it originally aired, because the whole non-consent thing really wasn't a thing back then. Sorry, not sorry, it just wasn't. It wasn't a conversation we was having. So yeah, now she's using, I guess, her endorsing the concept of Snowberry after that fact as her promoting assault.
When did The Flash debut?
I think, was it 2014?
Yep, 2014. So literally, all of these tweets that this chick is pulling up are from 2014. She's literally trying to dog and drag people for season 1 when Candace, or Iris, I should say, was hooking up with Eddie, who, by the by, I miss him too. Eddie's a good dude.
It's a good man.
But let's not even get into the whole fucking terrible story-writing conundrum about how if Eddie shot himself, why is Eobard Thawne still alive, but Eddie's not? Let's not go there.
I mean, how many times has Eobard Thawne died now?
All of them. He died all the times.
All the times.
Let's see. So apparently we're dragging Danielle Panabaker because she did a karaoke scene. Literally, that's it. They did a karaoke scene, and Daniel Pennebaker said, "Did someone say karaoke?" And they're singing together. Holy shit, like friends do. Marcus, we can't ever sing together on karaoke. They'll assume that we're trying to ruin a fandom.
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole look. If this was this person trying to support and defend the outright, and I'm sure, and she doesn't show it. She's talked about it, but she doesn't outright put it out there about the racist comments and tweets and fan mail or whatever that a lot of these black actors get.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing. That'll be one thing. But she's literally trying to, and I don't know if there's any tension between Danielle and Candace. I've never seen them be chummy, but I've never seen them, have cross words or anything like that. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But she's trying to pull stuff that's, what is the word I'm looking for? Innocuous at best?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you're really piecing, and it really sucks because like the whole concept of, and she continues to like lose credibility as the thread goes on because like, oh, she's trying to undermine the concept of Barry and Iris, which by then is undermining the actress, which by then is showing her racist. It's like that's. Your ass pulling right now. Your ass pulling because you're into Irish. Your ass pulling because you're a West Allen person, and I don't know within the midst of all of that where's the genuineness when it comes to what you're trying to do. And like I said, by the time we get to the bottom of this thread, you've lost so much credibility because of the reaching that you're doing that it's it becomes a joke at the point.
Yeah, It's not great, and yeah. I think the worst part is you can easily not like someone just for who they are, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with what they are or how they were born. I think about who was it? It was Anthony Mackie and was it Chris Hemsworth? They straight raw dogged Brie Larson in the middle of an interview. I don't think they were doing that because she was a chick. I think they were doing it because they find her obnoxious. And let's be honest, it seems like Candace Patton may have some skeletons in her closet, and no, it ain't Halloween, so those are not appropriate. Although I got plenty of skeletons in my closet because I like the spooky ookies.
Sorry, fandom. These people are people.
How dare they make mistakes and not be perfect ideologues? What?
Not these characters that they get paid probably more than the three of us may see in 3 years, much less a year, to portray these characters that you've attached on to far more than you should. Like, these people are people. They do stuff. Like, that statement that Grant put out, it was cool. I mean, he's the lead of the show. I'm pretty sure if this was something that happened on Arrow or Mail to do something, just because you're the lead, you kind of got to, I guess, be some sort of a bastion. But with the suddenness that he got hardly out of the way so quick, and it kind of felt like he was just trying to make sure that people knew he wasn't on the BS.
Yeah.
That was like, I spent the whole statement just saying how you genuinely felt when it came to Hartley, because that's what it really was about. But he kind of went off into like a lot of different stuff, and obviously I hope the sentiment is genuine. But I would have preferred if the whole thing just came with Hartley, because you know him personally behind the scenes, this, that, and the third. But it wouldn't be on brand to be like, hey, I know he got fired, but he's really a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of he doubled down on, what he needed to say now, and hopefully he is educating himself and stuff and not coming out the stupid tweet like we've seen so many people do. But yeah, I just wish he would have spent more of a statement coming out about how he felt about the Hartley situation as opposed to going forward. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the situation that we find ourselves in. Now, they did point out that apparently Daniel Pennebaker had a friendship relationship. They did a movie together with James Woods. To be fair, though, up until like the last 5 years, James Woods has been pretty innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
He's going full crazy now. Like, Gary Busey literally has brain damage from a motorcycle accident in the mid-'90s, and even he's not this crazy. But, like, I don't think that's your smoking gun. She was photographed with James Woods from I don't know how long ago. Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of raw dog in here, and I don't get it.
It would be one if she was still with James Woods. Okay, that's one thing. But how old are these photos?
Well, you know, if Stokely's any indication, 11 years,
Right?
Yeah,
This whole thing is just it's
a witch hunt.
The Flash might. The Flash has just a toxic fan base.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
yeah.
I was just looking, just scrolling through like the comments to the Hartley Sawyer thread, and there's just so many people that are calling for blood against Daniel Panabaker and even Grant Gustin and other people. And there was I saw one really rational reply in that.
That didn't last long.
Yeah. There was one rational reply that said, okay, say we expose Grant Gustin, Daniel Panabaker, and all these other people of all these supposed wrongdoings, and CW cancels the show. How many of you guys are gonna pay Candice Benton's checks?
Yeah.
You're gonna get her fired, and you're trying to support her the most. So,
I mean, the sitting back and, you know, kind of looking at everything as opposed to reacting is, I guess, a real fine line for some people. Because, like, with a lot of the Grant stuff, you know, I've seen a lot of the backlash he's gotten. For a lot of the fans, it's been like they want him to come out and outwardly support Candace more in the fact of like crapping back at the people who come at her specifically from a racism perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Obviously, he's the leader of the show. He's her freaking co-star. But again, you don't know these people. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what's being said. You don't know what might be done. Now, obviously, I mean, it does help a lot of times, unfortunately, that like somebody who was the leader of the show like that be like, all you racist assholes back off. Like, that shouldn't, like, that it goes without saying, but I get it. But again, it's not the whole that calling to get him fired. It's, look, we don't know. They both might have been racist or be racist, but she hasn't done anything in terms of anything in the realm of what Hartley did. I think the girl put up an article where she might have endorsed something that was said racist in the article, which I don't like.
Well, no. Actually, I remember that article. The woman made a crass joke about going to Africa, and had her entire life ruined for it. And the article was in defense about not doing stuff like that, like ruining someone's life. So it wasn't even that it was like defending racism. It was defending, you know, the idea of rejecting cancel culture, essentially. At least if I remember the article right. I could be wrong. But it was a New York Times article, and New York Times is not going to be writing, you know, hey, racism's cool pieces.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And you know, again, don't know the woman, but in all the cases from what I've seen, she comes off like a cool individual. I don't know, again, how she is behind the scenes, but she's always come off well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's just like I said, it's just a thing. A lot of people are in their feelings, and I'm, you know, not here to tell anybody how to react to stuff or, you know, how to feel, because you feel how you feel. But you got to be, like I said, you either come with that energy for everybody, because when you get selective like this, you know, a lot of truly genuine racist a-holes fall through the cracks, and they stay on TV, and they see stuff like this and be like, whoop, whoop, whoop-de-doo, let me go ahead and delete all this stuff, so, you know, this doesn't happen to me. And then stuff keeps happening, then we'll eventually see them, and then like, yeah, but where were you when they held this up? Because like I said, a lot of this stuff, none of this stuff ever really gets deleted. It's just waiting for like a Felicity Smoke to bring it back up, which apparently a lot of these trolls are. So it's like I said, unless she outright tweets something racist, unless you can come up with something definitive, or Candace herself outright comes out and be like, yeah, she is one. Then you can go from there on something. But a lot of this stuff is like some poor man's PI firm type of stuff that really is just, again, people just own one right now.
Yeah.
And now listen, if anyone's going to be a poor man's PI, it's going to be me and Marcus because we cracked the story with Chloe.
We did.
He and I did
We
that.
did.
We'll never get the credit for it. But we did that. Marcus actually found a lot of that. I don't even know how he found it. I don't even remember how we started doing that story.
Man, I was right around like I genuinely don't know how we fell down that rabbit hole. I wanna say that obviously we always having Smallville discussions.
Oh,
But
always.
I feel like because you knew of articles in the past from like older sites that got written but didn't necessarily get followed up on.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had talked about one, and then I had seen that interview with Raniere, but I didn't know anything about, and I knew she had linked up with some type of organization that was for self-betterment, and obviously you get, I guess, a more general idea of it in that interview, but I had no idea the depths to which it went. And it's funny because I was watching the interview, shout out to Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast. Apparently, she also tried to get Laura Vandervoort in it.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I know she tried to get Kristen Pruitt in it.
Yeah, but Laura was like, when she first came on to Smallville, she didn't really know anybody. And besides Michael, because I think they may have dated. This might have been after though, but she didn't really know anybody. And obviously Allison seemed nice, and she had brought it up to her. And she was like, thankfully, even back then, I had the wherewithal to say no because God knows what would have happened. But that's crazy.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if like we'd start digging through this and it ends up being like a tweet from Deep Throat, who ended up setting us on this direction, and that tweet ended up being Deep Throat, aka Tom Welling. Even worse. So you peel back the camera. Tom Welling is sitting at the computer hitting send. He leans back going, I've just outed Nexium. And then he rips off the mask and it's Brandon Routh.
Or it really is Tom Welling, but he goes by like a freaking name that only staunch Smallville fans would know. He goes by Sagith. Remember Sagith, the guy from the Kawachi cave that took the knife?
Oh,
had the,
God,
that one episode.
Do. That's like season 3.
Yeah. Sagith. Jesus.
Oh, God damn, that's funny. They really missed the boat on not making that one dude from season 4? The guy who ended up being like halfway dying throughout the series and because he was like a clone or some shit. A lot of people thought that was going to be Batman. They really missed the boat on that one. Because he was the perfect looking actor to be Batman. Then he went on to the Vampire Diaries. Ooh. So, let's get to why The Last Man. Why? Because I said so. That joke's never going to get good. I'm sorry, but I can't not do it. So this is the One Small Step saga arc, if you will. Gentlemen, first initial impressions. Marcus, we'll start with you. What was your thoughts on this week's arc of Why the Last Man?
Well, my suspicions were confirmed. Mommy Dearest is kind of behind the whole going after Yorick, because I'm guessing she's not trusting the people he's with, so she's gonna send some worse people who she really had no clue if they had an agenda of their own. But again, moms, I guess.
Moms.
But yeah, moms. the whole the concept of this whole their little crew is growing, and the thing with the monkey, they put the tracker in him or whatever, and yeah, I mean it's interesting, specifically the concept with the astronauts and the whole idea of like, we could basically die up here now because we damn sure we're gonna die down. So, um, but yeah, I think this story, like again, it continues to get interesting because there's so many things spiraling, and really, again, it feels like so close to the world we are in now. There's so much unknown about what's went down, and we kind of know ahead of time what's the monkey is the golden goose, if you will, but nobody knows that, and they're kind of just trying to look at him. They either want him for experimentation or for his little swimmers. So he's kind of between a rock and a hard place, no pun intended. And I think they've done a great job at differentiating, even as many women as we're obviously going to get in this series, differentiating like the personalities, because it really would be easy to kind of have a lot of these women run as like one. That's been cool to see.
By the by, you guys are going to absolutely adore the issue 16 cover. It's my favorite thing that's ever existed in ever. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm going to let you see it for your own when you get there. It's just perfect. Zachary, thoughts on One Small Step, the arc?
This was a pretty good arc. We got a lot. We got some. I mean, we found out that it was Yorick's mother that was selling him out to the Israelis, which obvious, one. And two, I believe, Chad, you said that the reveal was going to be underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And it was.
Yep.
Because she wasn't even doing it out of some secret maliciousness. She was just being stupid.
Sometimes you call your shot. Sometimes you.
And they called it.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a pretty solid arc. Did not see the ending of the two male, the male astronaut and the cosmonaut coming.
Oh, how they both got toasty roasty.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expected just plague death, but that's one way. That's another way to do it if you want to.
It was pretty wild, especially when they're accusing each other of trying to kill one another off just so they can be the last man on Earth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, y'all are some paranoid sons of bitches. They left it, so they were in the space station, and they left in a Soyuz capsule, which is, I think, the Russian escape pod. Essentially, is that fair enough to describe it as? And
I believe, yeah. So
it basically doesn't always work because there's like a sealing problem, a problem with the sealant. It's like when you close the lid, it doesn't always properly seal. So you could get roasted alive from within inside. So, that's never good.
yeah.
Bunch of Israeli female troops show up to try to snag on the Yorick. But there's also a Russian woman who's kind of chilling out now, too. And, all right, I guess Kansas, is about to get real fucking weird. You got the Israeli Secret Service. You got some Russian defectee. You got twin geneticists. This is like a fucking episode of The Twilight Zone. It's a thing. So it kind of ends with the Israelis telling, what is Yorick's mom at this point? Secretary, president, something?
She's some secretary. She's not the president. Or maybe she's still a congresswoman.
Congressperson, president congresswoman. That'd be a complicated name. Well, basically, they're like, nah, bitch, you on your own now. And then she's like, wait, you can't cancel my subscription. I'm not done yet. And they're like, peace. And then at the end of the issue, she turns around saying, hero, which I believe is not a not a technical title. I think it's more of a name, which would seem to imply that the individual might be Japanese. Although hero usually is spelled with an H-I-R-O, not an H-E-R-O. Well, what you gonna do? So the hang up on this issue was they took the monkey from York, and I don't know why, because that seems pretty fucking cruel. Don't take the monkey. Don't ever take the monkey. Don't take the monkey. What the monkey do to you? Like, you got 2 rules. You don't take the monkey. You don't kill the dog. Like, dem's the rules. By the by, the next arc is really gonna fucking freak you guys out. Just from what some of the people are end up doing in this arc. It's nothing like weird, but like you're gonna see it and you're gonna go, okay, that's kind of a thing. Kind of a thing that you would expect them to do, especially in a culture full of only women. The plays. Marcus, do you have any thoughts on this arc that you want to address before we call it a segment and move on?
No, I'm good.
Next arc's gonna also have a position in Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. Zach, any final thoughts on this week's arc?
Nope.
Unlike the boys, there's not a lot of crazies in this arc to arc. It's generally, hey, they're going places. Only women exist. Let's see what kind of dumb things we can do.
Yeah.
Unlike the boys, which was pretty much cocaine-fueled chaos in every single issue. Yeah. Sometimes it takes longer to get through the cocaine chaos. God, that's a great name for an album. Marcus, Zach, you guys want to start a band?
No.
Whore. For conjecture's sake, I think conjecture is the right word. Comedy and Tragedy, Safe Word, and Widow's Pass are next week's arcs. There are only 2 issues apiece, so we're doing 6 issues next week. Not next week,
okay.
Zach, the week you come back.
Right.
The week of the 25th. All right, Marcus?
Yeah.
Okay. Because now we're getting into more smaller arcs. All right, so let's move on. Some good news came this week. Some great news came this week. The trailer for Bill and Ted has come. The world may stop rioting. The pain may start healing. And the racists can go to Pluto. Because Bill and Ted 3 is back. Gentlemen, I'm at ease. Am I the only one of the 3 of us that is geeked for this film? Marcus?
I mean...
Zach, well, you can go first. You already started talking.
All right. I mean, after seeing the trailer, I can get behind it. I'll probably see it, but that doesn't mean I have high hopes for it.
Horror.
Because I mean, it's been a solid 30 years.
Horror.
I just don't have. I'm not gonna get my hopes up for it.
Horror. Did I call you a whore yet? Marcus, thoughts on Bill and Ted 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because this is really my first introduction into any of this. I've never really caught on to the Bill and Ted wave. The trailer looks intriguing. It kind of reminds me of a mix of like Men in Black and then like some kookiness from like stuff I remember seeing from the trailer from R.I.P.D. and then I seen those buff guys at the end and that took me back to Bobo from Street Fighter. So it's definitely an interesting mix. I may very well check it out just because I'm a Keanu fan and seeing him in a comedic thing can't hurt. But I've never really been on the, like I said, Bill and Ted wave. In fact, this would probably be my introduction to him. So the fact that there's been a 13-year gap, as Zach said, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good 3 decades since we've got Bill and Ted. I would recommend going to watch the first 2 before you see the third one because they're both phenomenal. There's literally a scene in the first one where Genghis Khan goes bowling. Oh no, it was Napoleon who went bowling. My bad. No, I think they both went bowling. Then you had like Billy the Kid trying to hit on women. It was good shit. Joan of Arc was doing a jazzercise class because it's the 80s, so obviously. It was fucking madness. Oh, it's so good. I'm so geeked for this. I can't wait for this. And their daughter's going to be in it. Not their real daughters, but the characters' daughters. and they got like the biggest dead ringers ever for them. It's fantastic. I'm so geeked. Speaking of other reasons to be geeked, we got Brian Michael Bendis finally leaving the Superman series and all of its secondary books. And all I gotta say is the man ruined the fucking books. He did such bad work. And they left him on the entire time. It's almost like they didn't care that the entire arc was being ruined. Zach, did you read a lot of these books?
No. I took Superman off when I still had a pull list. I took Superman off my pull list and Action Comics once Brian Michael Bendis came on. And I read like the first couple issues and I was just like, no, this is all pedantic bullshit and I care none of it. I care for none of it. Pedantic. Jor-El came back after trying to destroy the Earth, said, hey, I want to take your son, and Lois was like, that's cool, I'm coming with you guys. What the fuck?
And then she's like, wait, I'm too scared. Deuces, keep my son.
And then John comes back, aged 10 years?
Fucking ruined everything.
So fucking stupid. And I'm pretty sure there was like some, like I forget what the fuck the guy's name was. It was some alien that was after Kryptonians for destroying his planet or some shit. It was literally the same villain from one of the first arcs of either who was doing Superman before this bullshit.
Tomasi?
It was either Tomasi or
Jurgens.
It was one of those two. He literally took the exact same type of character and just reused it again. It was all kinds of bullshit.
He's a smuckosaurus. Marcus, did you ever read the Bendis run on Superman?
No, and I think the whole arc and run that you were praising was who, Tomasi?
Tomasi and Jurgens. They both did their own arcs alongside one another. Tomasi focused more on the family dynamic with Lois, John, and Clark, while Jurgens went full hardcore at you want to see him smash some shit? Let's watch him smash some shit. And they were both ridiculously good. Jurgens is always a good Superman writer. He always gets the heroic side of him down pat. Tomasi really brought a humanity to him that I was really impressed with. Super fucking good.
Yeah.
Plus, he brought in Frankenstein's monster, so like that's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because now I'm thinking back to that time, a happier time for all three of us, comic book wise anyway. Because even though I wasn't reading the issue myself, I was vicariously living through it with you coming and reviewing it every week, joyfully. And then that soured once Bendis came aboard. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't even read the good stuff, and then definitely not reread the bad stuff now. But just hearing you and Zach run it down, it's like I'm lost, and that was just a synopsis.
Yeah, that was like 2 issues. He also did an arc where he tried to make it look like Lois was cheating on Superman with Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
This dude did one. Yeah, go on, Zach.
And then Superman became a secret agent.
I didn't know about that.
Lois would just have to whistle, and then he'd have a beard. He'd suddenly just have a beard and a British accent.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb. Bendis did one good thing in his entire career. He created Miles Morales.
Yes.
He should have retired after that. Yeah. Because I don't think he's ever done anything on that level again. He's done the inverse.
Also, why the fuck is the Fortress of Solitude now in the Bermuda Triangle?
Because he wants to put his own stamp on shit. You know that. So let's read some of the comments. To be honest, his run was not so great in the last issues. It looks confusing and tired. I was hoping for more. He could have. I think you ran out of words on that one there, Slick. Thank the source. Now retcon him out and fix John. Damn right, George Ed replies.
Damn straight.
We could have hundreds of good news stories with John, but no, he had to destroy him by sending him to Legion. He eliminated his childhood stories. So exciting that his run is ending soon. I dropped the title after he started writing it. Looking forward to buying it again after he wraps his run. It's been cool, but what does the new creative teams do with Superman after Bendis fundamentally changed the characters and titles? I was enjoying the pre-Bendis soups immensely, and I hated the momentum that got canned. Good. Can they boot him off of it early? Giovanni Achman Russo with the save. Proof that God exists. Scipio Garling, heading is not nearing. We are all heading for death. That's not the same. Go fuck yourself. I hate people like him. Finally, something good happened this year. Fair. Wow, really? It's only been, 3 years? DC has been building him up as this big thing coming. Bendis is coming. Remember that? I know this run wasn't perfect, 50-50 for me. But given his status as writer, I expected a longer run on Superman, 4 or 5 years at most. That's longer than... He got longer than Tomasi and Jurgens. Like, fuck off. You cunt. Time for this big thing coming. Bendis is leaving. I guess I am a hater and this is a crime. Hey, maybe I'll read Superman again then. I was mad how Tomasi and Jurgens were treated after making Supes relevant again. Let's see. Another new number one? Or maybe back to the original numbering like Flash and Wonder Woman? Or maybe who knows? Thank God I miss reading Superman. No Roger Zolzar BS and fix John back to being a kid who will be sailing. So I have a strategy here. You all want to hear how I do this? Are you familiar with the show Dynasty?
Who shot JR?
Who shot Bendis?
Oh, you're talking about the old one. The new one sucks.
Yes, the old Dynasty. Let me see if I can find the right episode. Oh, hang on. Character not dead. It was the dad from Step by Step. Day by day. I fucking hated that show. Oh, I think I ranted on that show once before. His fucking nephew lives in the goddamn fucking driveway, and you can't let him in the house? You whore. Okay, not Dynasty. Dallas. So the youngest son of one of the characters is played by Pat Duffy. And he apparently dies in one of the episodes of Dallas. But he was so popular that they ended up doing like this entire arc where instead of him being dead, it was just like a dream. Yeah, it's the big dumb. It's the big dumb. So instead of doing that, Patrick Duffy's return was explained by having the entire season 9 being a dream of Victoria Principal's character Pam, effectively sweeping away the events occurring during the period in which Katzman's involvement with the show has been minimized. So instead of just doing some kind of retcon, literally just have Lois wake up one day and have her like super fucking stressed out, and she walks to her son's room and he's still a kid, and then she walks downstairs and Superman's reading a paper because of course he does. He's from Kansas, and she goes, and he goes, oh, you got up, and she goes, I had that dream again. And Superman's like, the one where John's 17 for no reason. Yeah, that's a dumb dream. Boom, retcon. Takes one panel or one page. I don't know. I think it would work. And considering how many people were fucking miffed with the Bendis run, I think it would be, incredibly accepted. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Batwoman circling Riverdale star for Ruby Rose replacement. Vanessa Morgan is tapped or apparently being eyed to replace Ruby Rose on CW's Batwoman. Now, this show should just be canceled. Which one? Riverdale? Batwoman? Yes. Now, the original rumor was that they were going to kill off Ruby Rose, but then they're like, you're doing the bury your gays trope. Oh, my brain hurts. So they're like, no, we're not going to kill her off. We're just going to replace her. And they're replacing her with Vanessa Morgan, who I don't think is bisexual or gay or queer in any way. So, lateral move. Marcus, we were not the fans of of the Batwoman. It was not a strong first season, though. You did watch it, yes?
Yeah.
So how's therapy going? Because you probably need it after sitting through that track.
You're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, you're spot on. The show does need to be canceled, and it's funny. I mean, it was really alarming about a lot of these the fans of these shows. Besides the attachment to ships and all the virtue signaling and all the stuff that goes along with a lot of these shows, unfortunately, the fact that they think the show was good and like the whole replacement, like to me, I feel like them doing what they're doing with this character is them somehow acknowledging, or maybe this is wishful thinking on my part, that they know the character sucked. They know that she sucked as the character so much so that they're bringing in somebody just to do the character over as Kate Kane. You know, it wouldn't be doing it service because I feel like she ran the character into the ground. I mean, besides the fact that she can't really act, specifically as a lead. And then apparently maybe because of certain things that have happened, she wasn't necessarily the best to work with, or so that's what's going around. That leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. Like I said, to me, the only true good part of the show was Rachel Scars and the chick who played Alice. So it looks like everybody's been crapping on this whole move about like just bringing in somebody else. But at this point, I mean, anything can be seen as an improvement, although not getting rid of these writers and the showrunner is always going to keep it trash. But the concept of Vanessa, who, you know, we talked about, feels like a few days ago about her discontentment with being on Riverdale and the position she's in. But potential for her to get a lead is cool, but I don't know if this is the shit show she wants to step into. So.
Yeah, you're kind of jumping from, you know, the lava to the acid. You know, you're going from one bad situation to an even worse situation. Because on one hand, Riverdale is just kind of a trash show. Remember when it had potential? Remember 2016? We were reading comics, enjoying CW TV shows.
But teens acted like teens.
Right. At least Stargirl is a teen acting like a teen. Obnoxious and arrogant, just like a teen would. God damn. But so we got a 28-year-old playing a 17-year-old. Fucking Hollywood. What do you expect? But yeah, it's just it's not a good situation. Zach, you know, I know you weren't too big on the Batwoman. I don't even know if you watched any of it.
No, have not watched a single bit of it.
Smart man.
Dem therapy bills are gonna be low.
I try to keep them that way.
Except for, you know,
but,
having to deal with me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I pay enough as I can just dealing with you.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's going to be interesting to see how she adapts to the show. It's not going to be easy.
It's not.
It's not. It's not going to be fun. You know, those suits are not comfortable. And, you know, as AJ Styles is... well, would you say it's AJ Styles' favorite community or second favorite community after CM Punk dragged him? The gay community. By the by, AJ Styles straight up went after CM Punk on Twitter. Or, no, not on Twitter, in an interview with India Today or something like that. And he's like, I don't comment on people who I don't respect. Oof. Basically, Zach, you don't follow the news anymore. CM Punk flat out implied that AJ Styles is hardcore racist. So it's been one of those weeks in wrestling. It's been one of those weeks. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the predominant gay community who's been supporting the show embraces the idea of Vanessa Morgan, a straight woman, playing a potentially gay character or a queer character. Because they did say they want the replacement to be a queer character. So how is that going to go over? Yeah, she's a woman of color, but she's not a queer. So I don't know. I don't mean that derogatorily either. I mean, a lot of people want this role to be a queer character. So
it's another crap storm because those same racists who come after all the other black actors are gonna, be like, oh, it's on brand right now to support black people. They got a black girl facing the white lead, and then, along with that, like you said, the added thing of like, but is she really gay? Because we don't feel it. Yeah, but she was gay on the other show. Yeah, but is she really gay? Because we don't feel it.
She's not gay enough. It's I'm sure you've heard that one before, not being black enough. I don't know what that's like. I'm super white. I'm obviously not black enough.
That other thing about, you talk proper, you're trying to be white. Because I can conjugate, the hell?
Oh.
Conjugation is for white people, Marcus. What are you doing?
But that's the thing, and a completely different, deeper conversation for a whole different other millennium. Or a different day, depending on how we're feeling. But
we'll get to that day soon enough. Knowing us.
No, what am I talking about? Any week now. But also you got to be careful what you wish for. You want to take on that lead role, and I think this man played something in the Ruby Rose thing too. A lot of people not fit for that.
Mm-hmm.
What doing them lead roles, them long hours in them very uncomfortable suits, and just the position you get put in as, the lead on a show and on set. You very much dictate the pace. Stephen Amell talks about that all the time. I'm sure Grant goes through the same thing. I think he's spoken on it. So, be careful what you wish for if this is really the direction they're going. And this will be a hell of a move because I don't think we've seen anything like this before. Specifically with an actor who coming off a show that's also still on air. So, we'll see, man. But again, it's this show is already to me at the bottom, so like I said, they got to show a lot of improvement besides just kind of casting to get up to anything resembling a okay show to me.
And that's pretty interesting, especially when we talk about Ruby Rose, Marcus, because I was thinking when the show originally cast her, like, oh, she's gay, that'll work. I didn't realize she was bisexual. I was like, uh-oh. Oh,
that's the thing too. People don't talk about that. A lot of people they get a lot of flack in their own community because it's seen as not truly picking a side.
Right? It's I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's not something I can't completely misunderstand. I understand it. That's what I'm trying to say. Because in my Italian community, there's a lot of infighting over the idea of what Sicily represents, to your heritage. And there's a lot of people who are Italian who think Sicily shouldn't be kind of mentioned in the same breath as the mainland Italians. Because there's a lot of really hanky fucking invasion bullshit that went on with the two regions, and it's all kinds of messy. But that was fucking 47,000 years ago. I don't know when it fucking happened. It was a while ago. I was 2. Or maybe not born yet. I don't know. But that kind of hatred is still prevalent in the community, and I'm like, yeah, y'all know we're the same shades of stupid, right? Why are we fighting?
Yeah, yet another great quote from you this week that could go on a shirt. Because you're right. To me, I understand, even if I'm shaking my head at the stupidity of it. Because if the whole point of the foundation of this whole thing is to be allowed to love who or whatever you love, then again, you're going against your own point. So, but again, people come up with, things to back up their own flawed logic, and they stand on it. So,
me and my Batman 8-head, goddamn, me and my Batman 8-ball head are getting married. Is that a good idea, Batman? Let's see what he says.
Outlook unclear.
Hang on. There we go. We finally got one. What does that say? I need the light. It says... looking grim. I think it actually said outlook grim, but yeah, I just saw look grim. I'm like, uh-oh. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. I guess I'll get married to my Hate Crimes Part 3 Green Lantern Green Arrow poster. What a good arc. God, that's a topical arc this week. Zach, did you ever read that one?
Oh, which one?
Hate Crimes. It was a 3-issue, I think maybe it was a 5-issue crossover with Kyle Rayner and Connor Hawke.
No.
If I remember the story correctly, it was actually one of the first ones I remember reading about Connor Hawke. It was a 3-issue arc or 5-issue arc where someone turned everyone against each other, just straight up using like racism as a supervillain power. It's not like it's not. Racism's pretty fucking supervillainy. But the original designer or creator of the Kyle Rayner character, he signed a giant poster for me.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
He's one of my favorite illustrators. I think it's Daryl Banks. Go check him out. He does good work. He does the good work. I would like to see him on more books. I haven't seen him in a while on comics. Still does conventions, though. Good dude. I think he's from Ohio. I know he went to college in Ohio. Yeah, he's from Columbus. Daryl Banks. Check him out, folks. He's a good people. So let's talk about the Stargirl and the Wildcat show. Zach, you still haven't. You actually watched the pilot. That's right. You told me. You finally watched the first episode. Marcus and I will get into episode 4 here. Episode 3. Marcus, what episode are we on? 4? 3? 4? 4, 3? 3, 4?
4.
4. You knew I was going to keep going until I got an answer. 3, 3, 4? 4, 4, 3, 4, 4? So we'll get to episode 4 here in a second. Zach, what do you think of episode 1, though?
I dug it. You know, it's a pretty solid show to start out with. I just feel I just have all the sympathy in the world for Pat. just gets shit on by pretty much everyone.
Even his own son dog walks his ass.
Yep.
Come on, Pat. Don't call me Pat. Courtney gets to call you Pat. And then you could just tell he was going to say, well, Courtney's not my daughter. And then you could see that he's like, nope, not going to say that.
Not going there. Yeah, I like how Courtney's character, at least in the first episode, is written, because she's very much a teenager. She's very much she doesn't care for Pat. She hates that she has to move and all this stuff. But you could also, it makes sense. I mean, obviously, it's something that she will eventually grow out of. But it makes sense for her to be this moody, to be this angry at everything. You know, I get it. You know, it's not the character writing so far is pretty darn solid.
Marcus, would you say the only complaint you have is the Starman's my father portion of it?
Yeah, between that and just her, yeah, because I mean that's fueling a lot of what's kind of, you know, the boneheadedness of this character right now. Like there's the potential is there. I think that the actress is great and everything, but this character, and I'll just go tell Zach, don't get too in love with her too quick, because it's gonna get frustrating if he continues to watch, because it's coming up. It's this show's version of We Are the Flash. That's what it's becoming.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far, because we're the Flash, Marcus. Maybe stop watching it. Like that was rough.
And it's funny because apparently even the writers saw how stupid it was, and they stopped actually doing it. I don't think it's been said since that heavily that season that it got said a lot in, but because it's coming up so much and she's using it as a founding excuse for every dumb thing she's about to do, it's like, this is like, I almost want them to bring him back from the dead so they could do like a 1-hour paternity test and just shut her whole world down.
That would be fantastic.
It would be great. Yeah, that part is. I mean, even in the first episode, it's a little annoying, but I mean, I also kind of I sincerely hope that they don't go with he actually is her father, which I really don't think they will, because it brings me back. This is the one comparison that I will give her to Rey from Star Wars, because any other comparison is complete bullshit. She has no idea what the fuck she's doing. But the one part of Last Jedi I actually thought was good was the whole thing of your parents were nobody. That whole thing, I actually thought that has some weight to it. That makes sense from a character level. I like it, and then they erased the whole thing because the entire trilogy was written like garbage. So yeah, just keep that your father is a piece of shit that abandoned you when you were 4 years old, and we're good.
Dude,
we're good.
That scene still makes me want to cry. She's just waiting for her dad. Oh my god.
And it's not even. And she's not even like, I'm waiting for dad because he's gonna give me all these presents. She wants to give him a present.
Right.
It's bolstered by the fact that, again, this is credit to the layers that actress puts on it. It's not a thing of like, oh my god, my dad's a superhero. She just wants a dad. She wants her dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a thing, I need my dad to be this great symbol or something. She just wants her dad. Like her walking by that cafe and seeing that father-daughter together, that she just wants that. Now what she's doing right now, it helps that her father may have been this larger than life type of thing, but genuinely I think, and that's the thing too, why she's so committed to the belief of it, is because she just wants so bad to have a dad that anything she can cling on to, she'll go with. It's just becoming readily annoying and thrown in our face every time she gets ready for a bonehead decision. It's like, it's to the point now, it's not an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you're smarter than what you're acting, and it's getting very annoying, and you're putting a lot of people, specifically the person that everybody likes more than you right now, which is Pat, in a lot of danger.
I think what I hope will happen is eventually the last episode of the season will come rolling around, and she'll be in dire straits, and Pat will either take a bullet for her, proverbially or literally, or he'll be on death's doorstep, and she'll realize that she's had a dad the entire time. Of course, Pat doesn't die, and that could be like one of the great like hooks is she could be like, Pat, I love you, don't die, and then Pat's like all quiet, and she thinks he's dead, and he goes, "Did you just say you love me?" She's like, "No." Like, wiping the tears away. Like, that would be great. That'd be a great payoff. Like, for fucking 12 episodes of her going, "Starbat's my father." By the by, the best villain from the original arc of Stargirl was Paintball. And I need to see how they would do that in real life. Oh, he's just a dude who can control paint. It's fantastically stupid. The only gripe I had, besides how they did Starman being a dick to Pat, was in Stargirl, the series, she didn't get the cosmic staff until the JSA books. She got Starboy's star belt, and that's the she could throw stars at people. Not exactly the greatest fucking idea ever, but it was pretty cool, and it allowed her to, I guess, levitate, which allowed her to do other shit. So I kind of wish they would have done that before they got to the cosmic staff, and that could have been a great arc for season 2. Getting used to the cosmic staff. But hey, it's Jeff Johns can do Jeff Johns things. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and yell at Jeff Johns. It's his fucking story, his fucking characters. By the by, Zach, tell me you heard the Bop in season 1 or episode 1.
I did.
Yes.
I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
I don't know if that's too white, but I'm like, Marcus, did you hear the Bop? And he's like, the what? Then again, I was like, what, 9 when that came out? So Marcus, you're what, 6 years younger than me?
Yeah.
You're 27?
No, I'm actually 29 today.
How did I not know it's your birthday? Fuck, I feel like a shit friend. Then again, I don't remember how old I am.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Marcus. I would suggest we sing, but I don't want to owe those old ladies in wherever the fuck they live, $5,000 for singing a happy birthday. So we'll just sing like the first like the episode of Community where Troy turns 20, and they're just like happy, and then they just stop. So happy. No, they sang to you. That's all it was. To you. There you go. Happy birthday, Marcus. I feel like such a shit friend. To be fair, I only remember 3 birthdays. My mother's because it's January 1st. My brother's and my friends because they're on July 4th. And my cousin, although I'm not even sure which cousin it is. I just know one of my cousins is born on Halloween. That's it. I have to check my father's ID to figure out when his birthday is because I always get it confused. I'm bad with dates, man.
Yeah, man, I wrote yours down.
I'm going to write yours down. Zach, I got yours on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So you can expect my yearly insult. All right, so we're on June 11th. Marcus's B-Day. Move that over there so we have more room. No, I will never forget again until I accidentally erase my erase board. All right, there we go. All right, so with that being said, Marcus, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit and get us to episode 4. We get the debut of the Wildcat. I did like the idea of weaving boxing into her character. It's apparently a family sport because her father's a big boxing fan. And I thought that was a really nice little kind of hook to it to kind of attach it to Ted Grant a bit. That was pretty cool. Also culturally significant because the largest portion of fans of boxing are Latinos. At least I think it's still Latinos. I could be wrong on that. So I was like, oh, that's cool. It's culturally relevant and timely to the character. Thumbs up. I like the wrinkle. We both saw that. She's being the slut shamed. We all thought it was the villainous son who did it, but turns out it definitely wasn't the son. It was the chick who's constantly coming for her because she was apparently dating the one boy she always wanted to date. I don't remember her name, but she is one of the characters from the original arc in the comics. Marcus, you remember her name? Fucking Cruella de Vil over there.
No, but I do like sticking to that particular. She very well does come off like Cruella, and I feel like every time I see her, I should know her from something else, but I don't. But she do got this. Ironic you say Cruella because don't she got like 2 tones in her hair?
Yep, she's got the white stripes in the front, and then she's I think black or brunette, and that's how she was designed in the comic too. So I like that they kept that accurate. It's pretty solid stuff.
It's Cindy Berman.
Yeah. Is that the name of the actress or the character?
Oh, the character. The actress is Meg DeLacy.
Meg DeLacy. I'll tell you what. All these early 20-somethings are gorgeous. There ain't an ugly one in the lot. They're all phenomenal. So Stargirl's like, hey, you like to punch things. You want to punch things with me? And the girl's like, no, my family fucking hates me, and I'm trying to do as little possible to make them hate me more. So, no, I'm good. And she's like, oh, come on. She's fucking peer pressure's a bitch because she goes, okay. And then she gives her the tatted ropes. I love the whole scene with her putting it on. She's like, it smells like a gym sock. Because, like, Ted Grant would definitely never wash his shit. Like, you could just, you just know that Ted Grant's all, like, 58 and just done with fucking everything at this point. So he's just going to let his stuff rot.
Yeah, just holding all that sweat and stuff in it's but I did like how they did it, the effect. Like what, by the time it fitted on her, she looked really good.
Yeah, I like the idea of the cowl being the thing that kind of, kept everything together. By the by, Zach, you're gonna love this. Remember the episode of Batman where he gets blackmailed and has to give up his cape and cowl?
Yep.
I, for the life of me, didn't know what the fuck a cowl was. I was like, what the fuck's a cowl? I was like 7. Like, what did you expect from me?
Yeah.
I was fucking stupid. But like, and then like he steps into the light and Batman's wearing a second mask and he goes, "A second mask. I should have seen that coming. Oh well." What a smarmy dick. Anyway, back to the episode. So we also find out that despite the fact that she had her nudes leaked, it wasn't the boyfriend. It was the boyfriend's stalker, and her parents, her abuela, are all like, "You've brought shame to this family. You brought shame to your mother. You brought shame to your father. You brought shame to your cow." I'm crossing references here. That's a Mulan joke.
Oh, good.
The abuela says nothing. She just stares at her, and her little brother is the only one who seems to still love her. I'll tell you what, like all that hit me. I was like, damn, that's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing, and it's even more because a founding aspect of that is how a lot of parents live vicariously through their kids, which is not healthy at all.
No, but I'll be doing it to mine.
At least you can admit it.
I'm going to live with Uncle Marcus. Go ahead, he'll do the same thing to you. Oh man, motherfucker!
God damn, he's right up the street. We set it up like that.
We're all next door neighbors. Me, Zach, and him. I'm gonna go live with Uncle Zach. Uncle Zach's outside wearing like one of those fucking balloon hats. Never mind, I'm just gonna run away. Hey, stranger in the van with the candy. Yeah, go ahead. Your best option of the four.
Hilarious. Oh, but yeah, my only gripe with that whole leaked news thing, because they played it well when like the whole, I guess, her feeling, I guess, some sort of different pressures to do it. Like I would imagine that hit home for a lot of young women, specifically when it's like with a guy that they actually like or think is going somewhere. But I didn't like how the execution of the leak happened, because like I'm like, how, like the Cruella chick walked up almost like she knew something nefarious was going on. And they did this thing where she just swiped the phone. I'm like, did she really just send that to her phone that fast?
My only thought was maybe she switched the phones. Like, that was my thought, because I was thinking the same thing you did. I'm like, how did she do it that fast?
Yeah.
Because, like, she doesn't even have powers in the comics. She has, like, a fucking flame rod. She's fucking Link from Zelda. She's got the flame rod. So, like, I mean, she might be superpowered in this. I don't know. But, like, my only thought was, because, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, magician bullshit going on. So, like, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. Like, that was a little hanky. I'm hoping for more of an explanation as we go further with that, though. But he was definitely showing his buddies. Like, we all know he was doing that. Like, right? Like, we all know that.
No, that's what that was. And then she was, like, okay, I'm like, oh, douche tool. You're definitely showing your buddies, because when she walked past, like, I initially thought that's when the leak happened, when he walked past.
Me too.
Yeah, and then that happened. Then she just kind of walked up like, oh, it looks like he's showing nudes. And then swipe. I'm like, okay, that would have been content on. Oh, it was just so fast. But maybe I'm hoping, like, it is what you said, and they switched phones. She switched phones. She does seem that nefarious to do something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because while it don't seem like he would have, of course, leaked it, she shouldn't have had to feel pressure to do it. He shouldn't have pressured her to do it, and he definitely shouldn't have showed his boys.
Yeah, definitely don't show the boys. I do think there might have been some more to her wanting to do it, because when he was asked, he was definitely kind of being, 16 and dumb. But she smiled when she thought about it. Like, she kind of smirked and went, okay. Like, there was definitely some of that there, which I think is even more to your point about how it feels very real, because I'm sure a lot of women like the idea of expressing themselves in a safe space. God damn it, I hate myself for saying that word. Expressing themselves in a way that doesn't make them feel cheap or used. Fucking safe space.
No, I mean,
fucking kick me in the nuts.
I do think you're using. I mean, I think that's the right term used, because when you're in the honeymoon period, that's when you do feel safe.
Yup.
Right.
That's when a lot of the nudes get sent.
Yeah, like the concept of this would normally be 100% something I'm against, but because it's this person and because I'm caught up in the lovey-doveyness of it all, you do something like that, and obviously you're gonna get to it. But the scene they played when she basically owned up to her family, I thought was really well played too. I like that they put a lot on this young actress in this depth, and I thought she carried it very well.
I agree, especially that last scene with her and her family, because like the schmarmy thing to do, or the smozzy thing to do, is to go whole ham and like, you're right, sweetheart, we're sorry, and then they all have a group hug, and instead her mom's like, no, fuck you, you little skank, and I'm like, whoa, she a bitch, and like that was like a very real thing. And while I'm not Mexican, I think she's Mexican. I am Catholic, and I understand, majority of Mexicans are Catholics. So, like, we do share kind of that hereditary cousinish link between our cultures in that regard. And that is exactly how a Catholic family would act. So I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn the hell. Oh, damn the hell, Mard. Thankfully, I'd never have been a 16-year-old girl who got my news leaked. Because that would have been hard. That would have been hard on everyone. We also find out that Pat is using a salvage yard to build all of this shit. Makes sense. Get it on the cheap. We also find out that the senator's wife, or a congressman's wife, is leaving town. She got her car fixed, and she's kind of a wreck. And she tries to warn Pat, hey, Blue Valley is all of the fuckery. Don't trust people. Get the fuck out. Don't turn back. Definitely don't go to that movie theater. Your wife's working for the villain. Deuces. But obviously, if you try to turn heel on the heels, oof, that's just all kinds of bad. We then met Cobra Commander. Dr. Xavier, what was his name?
Oh, shoot, I was about to say.
I literally just opened up the page to one of his scenes in the book. Let me see if I can find him.
Let's see. Dr. Ito.
Dr. Ito. Dr. Ito's rocking his full green Cobra Commander cosplay.
Dragon King.
If I remember correctly, he was supposed to be the main villain for the arc of the original series. To the point where they even have like little green putty patrol dudes. It's pretty awesome. I dig it. He shows up, and unlike the book where he has a much more prominent role, Icicle is the main villain in this show. And Dr. Ito basically says, hey, I ain't going to betray you like the Shade did. And I was like, wait, the Shade's in this? What? So hopefully we get to see more of him. And then he's like, well, I'm also not going to, turn my back on you like the magician dude. By the by, he dead. Can I have his body? And Icicle's like, that's a weird request. But I also need allies, so sure, as long as you don't stab me in the back. And Ito's like, sweet.
That was such a great scene because he buttered him up, and then because Icicle's playing this cool, like he clearly knows like the doctor is really not to be messed with because of how he was talking with him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and also the doctor came in with henchmen, by the way.
Yeah.
And dismissed him to have a conversation. So this is really not the guy to necessarily mess with. And the way the guy that the great actor that they got to play Icicle, he plays it cool, no pun intended, but he doesn't come off somebody that's easily shaken. But when he said, I'm not going to betray you like a magician, but seeing as he's conveniently dead, can you give me that body? And the guys, and Icicle just goes, what? Okay.
What killed the dinosaurs, Marcus? The Ice Age. What killed Icicle, Marcus? The creepy dragon dude. I don't know if the dragon dude's supposed to be an allegory for the clan. He looks like a Green Clan member. He's called the Dragon King. The head of the clan are Grand Dragons. I don't know. There might be some similes there, some symbolisms. To quote a Boondock Saints line, some symbologies. gonna be interesting. The other arc we got was the little cute girl with the glasses. Her mom's the doctor.
Yeah.
What's her name?
She's overly invested in her parents.
Her best friend, you mean?
And the mom was like, no, we're not doing that. Beth, shout.
So poor Beth. Beth is one of those girls who is just so bubbly and optimistic and all wholesome and American Pie and yada, yada, yada. But she's so wholesome that apparently she rubs people the wrong way because she has no friends. That poor girl. But she sits with Yolanda at lunch. But I don't think they're friends. So when Stargirl and Wildcat are doing their thing, Stargirl does the biggest faux pas. Sorry, the cat wasn't staying down. I had a fur ball. That is a joke. So Stargirl makes the biggest faux pas in the history of comics, and she calls Wildcat Yolanda. And of course, Beth goes, Yolanda? Because she's conveniently right there. And by the by, can I just point out that the entire fucking break into the hospital sequence didn't make any goddamn sense? Stargirl's like, you need to climb the side of the building. Why? You can just take her to the window. On your flying stick.
Yeah, it's another one of these CW things where Lottie goes out the window to service unnecessary action and or what you call it when they what am I looking for when they spill the plans for what's about to happen? Exposition.
Yes.
Yeah, so for unnecessary action beat or exposition. And she looked CGI'd as hell when she was crawling up the wall.
Nope.
The second time. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. She could have just brought up there with a stick, but we needed to put those claws that we found out about Wikipedia to use.
I did like that. That was good.
Yeah, that was what was really sucky. And again, I want to like Courtney so much, man, but this bullheadedness that she's got, because not only is she bullheaded, it doesn't seem like she's learning from her mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, kind of goes back to the thing, well, like there's a difference between like outright racist stuff and like this insensitive, crass tweets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, outright racist thing is like, hey, man, those Nazis are good people.
Not all Nazis are bad, Marcus.
Really? You haven't said, no, the fuckers, they're evil. Nazi fuckers are evil. That's what we have to worry about.
It's the Nazi fuckers that'll get you, because they'll fuck your girls.
Exactly. That's a real thing. But yeah, that's racist. But the whole thing about like, the tweets out like, hey, you know what I want to do? Go to a hospital wing, preferably on the floor with all the people on life support, and cut the power just so I can see how long it'll take the backup generator to come on. I use that as an example because our resident lead hero, who's been doing this for however many weeks, and swear to God, she knows what she's doing.
She even says, week.
Yeah, week. Is in the closet and is like, I need to provide my partner with a distraction so she can do what she needs to do. We can get out of here. I'm going to cut the power. And even the staff is like, whoa, dum-dum. Glows like Kazoo and stops her. And like this whole episode, the girl that she recruited out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but randomly recruited, came off like a better lead hero than she did. And she had to remind her, like, you do know that we came here to go into a room with a guy who is, in a coma, in a hospital with people that's on life support, and you're about to cut the power? Come on.
On one hand, that's the dumbest thing you could do. On the other hand, it does show that she is extremely bad at her job so far. Which, if you're trying to, get away from the idea of like the Mary Sues, that's exactly the kind of things you should be writing to your shows. Someone who isn't thinking big picture. She's clearly not adept at doing this yet, and I think that's actually a strong sign for the show because it's taking this very seriously with her development. And also, just as a side note, all Nazis are bad people. There isn't a good Nazi among them. I just want to be clear about that.
100%.
All Nazis are bad.
100%. Did you feel like it was awkward when she was like, "This is my opportunity to stab him with my nails"?
That was so like, oh, I thought we went full soap opera, or full telenovela. Oh, she's just like, walk. In my head, I'm like, da-dun, 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 da-dun.
Hey, now when you get ready to pull your claws out, give us your best Freddy impersonation.
And she was so angry. And what I was really hoping for was for him to kind of do like a monologue to his dad, like, Dad, I can't do this without you and Yolanda. I still don't know why she thinks I did it. Like, that would have been great. But instead, we got to carry out that storyline for at least another week. God damn it. So
Yeah.
you're very much right. Like, Courtney is very bullheaded, and there's two other examples that I'm going to point to piggyback off of your point. The one where Pat's like, yeah, that kid died. We should probably fucking quit. And she's like, no, you said it yourself. We need more people. And Pat was like, no, what I said was, we can't do this alone. We gonna die. And she's like, that same thing. And Pat's like, you don't understand semantics. And then the second time was when Yolanda's like, I got to figure out who I am. I just went through hell. My family hates me. I'm the school whore. Can we not right now, Courtney? Can you just give me some space? What does Courtney do? She gives her the goddamn suit with a note saying, you're a wildcat, or some bullshit.
Yeah, I can't do this without you. And I'm so glad you put that up, because that was going to be my one of my other points. It's like, that's a superbly selfish thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what made it worse, and I wish, and I get it, and I'm hoping they'll build into, like you said, some real light bulb eureka moments, because if they're not, this is really going to hurt this character down the line, because of just how selfish that was. And it made it worse with the girl saying all that, and then having that moment with her family, that genuinely good moment with her family, and then immediately coming back to the suit. Like, if on the note, instead of saying I need you, she would have said, and this could have changed the whole little thing, you can be like Yvette Montreal, Yvette and Wildcat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it's like, yeah, I heard you, you're going through your thing, but I kind of need you right now, because I need to get to revenge on these guys that killed my dad. By the way, do you know my dad was Starman?
No, I don't. Please tell me more, Courtney. Hey, you're right. Like, the way I would have done that scene is, same thing, drop off the suit, but instead the note should have said something to the effect like, when you figure out who you are, I'll still be here waiting. Take your time, or something like that. Just like a show of support.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been brilliant, but instead we get, I need you. We come help.
Yeah, because now it seems like, I mean, that was a great speech that she gave. Like, I really need to get back to this girl that I was shamed at, and then I spent all this time running from her when I need to find her again. So when she kind of acquiesced to the note after the thing with her family, it's kind of like she doubled down on running from it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, had it been like a scene, like you said, had the note been less selfish, it would have just came off like she actively chose to, do it, instead of like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, we got these team up fight episodes coming up, so we need to go ahead and get this out the way. No time to dilly-dally.
I don't know. Like, as long as there's consequences, like if she has a mental breakdown because she's trying to carry both the shame and the rejection of the nudes and being Wildcat, and it eventually causes her to have some kind of like emotional reaction to everything. Okay, this all makes sense then, because we all know that sometimes when people are in distress, one of the things that they end up doing is going very, very, very destructive in their own life. And if that's what she ends up doing, okay, that makes sense then. But my concern is we're going for the Disney ending, where everything just ends up working. And all these mistakes that are being made that we all know are going to end badly don't end up having any ramifications or issues to them whatsoever, and everyone just ends Disney style. That's going to piss me off, because it's going to be unearned. It's going to be, washed away. Now, they are doing some things to make Courtney look kind of inept and very juvenile, and that's a good thing because the whole point of being a 16-year-old superhero girl is that you are inept and stupid, and you have to learn and grow and become better. Because that was one of the best parts about Arrow was we saw Green Arrow in season 1, or the Hood, as this fucking hardcore vigilante Robin Hood. I'm gonna put a fucking arrow through your throat and don't give two shits, who I leave behind. But then you'd also jump to like 5 years earlier where he's like, oh, gee, Slade, I can't pick up that sword. I was scared. So like you got to see the evolution of Oliver. And that was a great thing. And I hope that's what we're seeing. Like I hope we're seeing, dumb Blondie over here just screwing up all the time so we can eventually see her become the badass superhero we all expect her to be. By the by, God, I love Pat. What a good dude. What else did we get in this episode? Did I forget anything, Marcus? Did you forget anything?
I mean, Pat, obviously he was kind of catching on to some of the clues earlier with the magician and the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like he wanted to be just like his dad. They're like, well, wasn't his dad like a senator? Because of course he had the cat, so when he goes to the junkyard, he sees the cat, and he's like, okay, that's weird. I'm pretty sure this is the cat that was in the holy hell, that's the truck. And it's really been, like, it reminds me, going back to Smallville, when they found Mama Teague's car in the tree. It was clear that Lionel had her killed.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lionel was some evil, man. He was some kind of evil, until like season 6, though.
Yeah, because didn't he kill Oliver's parents too?
Yes, not the same Oliver parents, but yes. A different crop of Oliver parents died. Oliver Queen having parents murdered this side of Batman since 1960-something. Oliver Queen can't keep his parents alive. He's Bruce Wayne. Ha ha.
Also, apparently, we got I guess another one of the Stargirl villains. It's not Pied Piper. Is it Pied Piper?
I don't think that's Pied Piper. She's got a violin.
The fiddler.
The fiddler. Yes. She was trying to coax Brainwave out of his coma. Now, the thing that I do love about this is like there's a lot of things I'm not saying spoiler-wise that were in the books that are obviously being reflected in the show. But I like that they're showing you a glimpse of who the villains could be and making you play Guess Who. I still think the gym dude is a villain, Marcus. Anyone who comes to you that hyped to get swole, either on steroids or a supervillain or Bane.
I mean, you're right. And we talked about the first episode. This very much has, in that regard, because we just don't know yet. I mean, obviously, you know more about the potential, like you said, with the filler and stuff like that from the books. But with the people we're getting introduced to, because we're getting introduced to them in a certain way, it very much does have that Sky High vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, how many Royal Pains have we seen so far?
Yeah, let's just say I granted you and took away your Xbox. And Dad, I don't have an Xbox. You do now! Then he hugs him. Oh, man, you are strong. He's strong. He's super strong. By the by, Danielle Pennebaker, what up? She's in that. She played the eco girl, the one who is all into plants and shit.
Yeah, man, we need a sequel to that.
Right? Sky High 2, now we're the teachers.
Man, Netflix, get on that, man.
What was that?
Like, Netflix, get on that, because I don't think me or Chad checked out Girl Meets World. So get on that.
Checked out Girl Meets World? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I actually watched that. It wasn't good. Shocking when you bring back all the characters that we all want to see, but instead we get ham-hawked with these. I mean, they were fine, but the storylines were like nonsensical and oftentimes ended on just like a random ass, like, you like the same boy I like, what do we do? Let's have ice cream. What? Huh? Or like, do you like me? I do, but I don't know if I do enough. What? Who wrote this?
Like, by the way, in the midst of it, here's a legendary combo from the show you actually fell in love with.
Right? And then like Sean ends up adopting one of them. Like, what? Like, you're in this for 3 episodes and you're around enough to adopt a kid? Who are you, Turner? You gonna fucking eat pavement too, Sean? And then hide on the other side of the hallway for 3 seasons? That's the best fucking joke in the whole... That's the best joke in all sitcom history. Fuck that noise. The whole, Minkus, where have you been? Been down over there. Oh. We don't go over there.
You go over there, you may never come back. Oh, there's Mr. Turner.
Hey, Mr. Turner, hang on. Well, at least they brought back Mr. Turner for the show. Marcus, did you see a Girl Meets World?
No, I couldn't because I knew the level of child crap I was gonna have to go through just to get to those cameos. So I just kind of watched some YouTube clips of the actual cameos. I'm like, oh, they still look good. Like Angela looked really good.
Real good. Oh, she
So
looked
good.
real good.
We know the one cameo we won't be getting.
Actually, Maitland Ward was on it.
What? Really? Oh, that's great.
This is before she was taking it up, 2 different holes at the same time.
Gotcha. This is before the boys met her.
Yes, this is before. The one cameo I was actually surprised about. We did get a Feeney cameo, but we also, if I remember correctly, got 2 Jackay promos. Not promos. Fucking Christ, wrestling. Cameos. We got 2 Jackay cameos. I like Jackay. That's like a 90s comedy staple right there, my friend. What was she in? Mr. Cooper, Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
No, sister.
Sister. That's right. She was one of the moms. That's right. Oh, I loved her. I love those girls. 90s TV. Can we all just give an appreciation for the one TV show no one ever talks about anymore? Smart Guy. Why does Taj Mowry get ignored? What the hell? Yeah, we all hyped for Carlton, especially when he stood up for himself in the frat, and that was a great episode. And he was scared when Will got shot. That was a great episode. And fucking Dance Like Tom Jones. That's always a great episode. But why do we gotta ignore Taj Mowry and his contributions to Smart Guy? The only show I know of where a young 10-year-old boy was doing fucking smart dude things at 10 years old. I'm sure there's others before it, but I don't know. I was fucking 9 years old when those were out. I didn't fucking watch Doogie Howser. Fucking Doogie boring. I don't care about your medical drama, Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, I was all about the Smart Guy though. You guys ever see Smart Guy?
I never saw Smart Guy.
Yeah, it's a very underrated show, and it's funny because, and like you said, he don't get the credit because now we have so many of these Nickelodeon shows with these smart kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean they're going from smart. I mean I think they may even have like superhero shows on there now with these like families and stuff. So, I mean he opened the door for a lot of that, and I don't think that show gets talked about enough. Another show with a great cast, by the way. But yeah, we don't know. Just that particular Maury child does not get enough recognition. Like we love his sisters, but he doesn't get enough.
I'll tell you what, Marcus. I would go as far to say the Mowry sisters don't get as much love as they deserve.
Yeah.
But ladies, if you ever get divorced, I got more than enough love for the both of you. Just letting you know. Marcus, I'd even be willing to share.
Hey, I was about to say, because I just watch and just hope Angela passed through. or Rachel, I've seen your work. You're not bad.
I like your work, kid. Yeah, it's crazy. They had both of the Morgan actresses on at one point.
Oh wow! Did they ever do? I guess we found that. Did they ever like bring Corey's brother on there?
Yes, not the kid who actually played the brother, mind you, but yes, they did have a character that represented the brother, and he was like a college freshman, I think.
Nice.
And the girl that Sean ends up kind of adopting is like in love with him. It's weird. And like he's like 19 and she's like 14. She's like, why can't we be together? And he's like,
Oh wow, see that's exactly what I was trying to avoid.
right? Like he's like trying to be like, oh, cause it's illegal. But yeah, it was some dumbness. It was some hard. It was not a good show. I think it hit like it's like a Disney Channel 80. I think is what they do. Like they do like 80 episodes and then they cancel a show. Like it hit its run in 4 seasons. They're like, all right, we're good. 70 episodes. That's what it is. Lasted 3 seasons, and those 3 seasons literally took place over 2.5 years. That's it. Couldn't even give you that. Yeah, it is not a good show. Don't watch it. Speaking of weirdness, let's talk about the Tigress and Sportsmaster designs before we call it a night. Oh, Zach, you've been awfully silent over there, my friend. You've seen these designs. Oh, give me comments. Give them.
I mean, Sportsmaster just on the surface level, just the character himself, it's not great.
Yeah, you know, you're trying to dust up a turd. I get that.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, this is not good.
He looks like Casey Jones murdered a turtle.
He does. He really does. He looks like Casey Jones is wearing Raph's shell.
Hey, I got a Jose Canseco bat. You want to see what it can do? I'm wearing the last guy who made fun of it. Okay, now Sportsmaster just became really cool in my eyes. God, I hope that's the way.
I'm on board. Tigress, on the other hand, not so much.
She looks like an off-brand trainee from Power Rangers.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's funny because I was just gonna say this look like the Casey Jones outfit that didn't get picked, and she looks like the Scorpina outfit that didn't get picked.
Yup, there it is. That's what it is. Scorpina.
There it is.
Yup, Marcus
He's
got
it.
Marcus got it. Fucking Christ. Oh, not a good look at all. I don't know what the hell they're doing. This isn't one of those like the Batmobile. Like we got to see like a better shot of the Batmobile. It doesn't look too bad. Like, you know, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen all we need to see. This does not get better.
No, this is a very clear image.
Yeah. It's pretty accurate. Maybe Sportsmaster is going to be fun as hell. Maybe he'll be cool as shit. I don't know. But, like, you ain't hitting the notes you think you're hitting. But again, if he says that he murdered a Ninja Turtle and wears his hide as his shield, we good. We good. But I don't think that's going to be the direction we go. Fucking Scorpina knockoff. Oh, that's too fucking funny. So we also get shots of the Hour Man costume, and it probably is the best costume of the group. Stargirl is pretty tight, but Hour Man's is pretty solid too. I do wonder who Hour Man is going to be. We don't really know yet. We think it's going to be the dude from the first episode, but like I don't know. Could be anyone. Twists and turns and shit. All right. Anyone have any final thoughts on anything we talked about tonight?
Nope.
What
Marcus?
was that last point you cut out?
Any final thoughts on anything we talked about tonight?
No, that's about it for me.
All right. Let's call it a night then. Twitch.tv/Comic and GameCorp. You can check us out there every Thursday night at 9 p.m. We're also on RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com. We're on Twitter at NerdCorp, on Instagram at RealNerdCorp, at RealNerdCorp. Marcus can be found on his personals at ParadoxKid, ParadoxKid.
That's the kid.
You can also find him on his other podcast, The True Penny Show, at True Penny Show on Twitter, TruePennyShow. You can also find me on Twitter at Chad NerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut, ChadsPhotoHut. Zachary can be found on DeviantArt and Instagram at his handle at Radiance2020. I remembered it this time, asshole. RAD.
You got it.
IANCE2020. That's RADIANCE2020. Did I spell that right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I almost misspelled my own Twitter handle last night. It was bad. I started spelling my name, then I started spelling fish because I changed my avatar to a fish on Twitter. It fucking threw me. I'm about to change my avatar again too. You'll see it all in a few minutes after the show's over. I'm going full ham hawk on you. Let's see. You can find all of our past podcasts on Podbean at realnerdcorp.podbean.com or by downloading the Podbean app to your mobile device and downloading the app and searching for NerdCorp or Real NerdCorp on the app. You can also find us on Spotify and iTunes by searching NerdCorp, NERDCORP, or Real NerdCorp if it'll do you better. REALNERDCORP. That's all we got for you guys this week. We'll be back next Thursday for another edition of the ComicCorp Podcast. Me and Mark Screen will be coming in hot. Zach will be joining us in 2 weeks' time. So for Zachary Tyler, Pew Duncan, and Mark Screen, I'm Chad Portal. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. And as always, I'm going to kick it to Marcus to take us home. Marcus, say goodnight.
Good night, me.